Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I'm Dr. Hewon Kim, a specialist in nutrition and hair health. Every single day I receive messages from people telling me they are taking vitamin supplements for their hair, but they are not seeing any results. They spend money on expensive multivitamins, on products that promise miracles, and after months of use, their hair keeps falling out the same way or worse than before. If this sounds familiar to you, I want you to know that the problem is not you. The problem is that you are most likely taking the wrong vitamins, or you are not taking them at the correct dose. Today, I'm going to reveal to you the 3 most powerful vitamins out there for stopping hair loss. I'm not talking about generic vitamins that may help a little. I'm talking about the 3 specific vitamins that science has shown over and over again are absolutely essential for keeping your hair follicles active, healthy, and producing new hair. And the best part is that you can start seeing visible results in as little as 8 weeks, as long as you make sure you get these vitamins in the right amounts, whether through your diet or through smart supplementation. But before we continue, I want to ask you an important question. Are you currently taking any vitamin supplement for your hair? And if so, have you seen results? I would love for you to tell me in the comments, because I know that many people are frustrated with products that don't work, and I want to better understand what's going on with my community. Now I'm asking you, if this information seems valuable to you, to give the video a like right now, and subscribe to the channel by clicking the notification bell. Every week I publish content that can transform your hair health, and I don't want you to miss a single video. Let's get to the first vitamin, and I'm going to start with the one I consider the most important of all. Vitamin number 1 is vitamin D, and this is probably the most underestimated when it comes to hair health. Most people associate vitamin D with bones and the immune system, but very few know that this vitamin plays an absolutely critical role in the hair growth cycle. Vitamin D activates the receptors in the hair follicles that are responsible for initiating new hair growth. Without enough vitamin D, these receptors do not activate properly, and the follicles can enter a premature resting phase. When the follicles are at rest, they do not produce new hair, and the existing hair eventually falls out without being replaced. A study published in the British Journal of Dermatology examined vitamin D levels in women with hair loss and compared them to women with healthy hair. The results were striking. The women with hair loss had significantly lower vitamin D levels than the women in the control group. The researchers concluded that vitamin D deficiency is directly associated with multiple types of alopecia. And here is the problem. Vitamin D deficiency is extremely common, especially in people over 50. It is estimated that up to 40% of the world population has insufficient vitamin D levels. If you live in an area with little sun, if you spend most of the day indoors, or if you have darker skin, your risk of deficiency is even higher. Now I'm going to ask you something important. Have you ever had a blood test to check your vitamin D levels? Most people never do, and they could have a severe deficiency without knowing it. Tell me in the comments if you know your levels, or if this is something you need to check. Vitamin D also has anti-inflammatory properties that protect the follicles from damage. Chronic scalp inflammation is one of the most underestimated causes of hair loss, and vitamin D helps keep this inflammation under control. In addition, recent research suggests that vitamin D may help create new hair follicles. A study published in Stem Cells Translational Medicine found that vitamin D stimulates the stem cells of the hair follicle, which can potentially reactivate follicles that had become inactive. My recommendation is to keep blood vitamin D levels between 40 and 60 nanograms per milliliter. The best way to get vitamin D is through sun exposure. Approximately 15 to 20 minutes of direct sunlight on the arms and legs several times a week. If this isn't possible, consider supplementation with vitamin D3, which is the most effective form. The typical dose ranges between 1,000 and 4,000 international units per day. But the ideal is to get a blood test and adjust the dose based on your current levels. Vitamin number 2 is biotin, also known as vitamin B7 or vitamin H. The letter H comes from the German word Haar, which means hair, and that gives you an idea of how important this vitamin is for hair health. In fact, biotin is probably the most famous vitamin when it comes to hair, nails, and skin. Biotin is essential for the production of keratin, the protein that makes up roughly 95% of the structure of your hair. Without enough biotin, your body simply cannot manufacture keratin efficiently, and the result is weak, brittle hair that is prone to falling out. A study published in the Journal of Clinical and Aesthetic Dermatology evaluated women with thinning hair who took biotin supplements for 90 days. The results showed a significant increase in hair growth and a noticeable reduction in hair loss. The participants also reported that their hair felt stronger and had more volume. But here comes something very important you need to understand. Severe biotin deficiency is relatively rare in people with a balanced diet. However, mild or suboptimal deficiency is much more common than people think, especially in certain situations. Who is at the highest risk for biotin deficiency? People who take antibiotics frequently, because antibiotics can destroy the gut bacteria that produce biotin. People who consume raw egg whites regularly, because raw egg white contains a protein called avidin that blocks the absorption of biotin. People with digestive problems that affect nutrient absorption. Women who are pregnant or breastfeeding who have higher biotin needs. And people under chronic stress, because stress depletes the body's biotin reserves. Here I want to ask you a question. Do you identify with any of these risk groups? If so, you are very likely to benefit from increasing your biotin intake. Let me know in the comments if any of these factors apply to your situation. The best food sources of biotin include cooked eggs, especially the yolk, liver, salmon, walnuts, seeds, avocado, and sweet potatoes. If you prefer supplementation, the commonly recommended dose for hair health is 2,500 to 5,000 micrograms per day. Biotin is a water-soluble vitamin, which means your body eliminates the excess through urine, so toxicity is extremely rare. Vitamin number 3 is vitamin E, and this is the one with the most impressive scientific evidence when it comes to measurable results in hair growth. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant that protects the cells of your scalp from the damage caused by free radicals. Free radicals are unstable molecules that attack the cells of your body, including the cells of your hair follicles. Stress, pollution, poor diet, tobacco, and aging all increase the production of free radicals. Without enough antioxidants to fight them, the damage builds up and contributes directly to hair loss. An 8-month study published in Tropical Life Sciences Research demonstrated extraordinary results. The researchers divided 38 participants with alopecia into 2 groups. One received vitamin E supplements and the other received a placebo. After 8 months, the group that took vitamin E experienced a 34.5% increase in the number of hairs. The placebo group, on the other hand, showed a 0.1% decrease. That is more than a third more hair simply by taking vitamin E. But vitamin E doesn't only protect against oxidative damage, it also improves blood circulation, including microcirculation in your scalp. When blood flows better to the follicles, more nutrients and oxygen reach where they are needed. Well-nourished, oxygenated follicles produce stronger, healthier hair. In addition, vitamin E helps keep the scalp hydrated and balanced. A dry, unbalanced scalp cannot support healthy follicles. Vitamin E helps maintain the natural oil barrier of the scalp, protecting it from dryness and irritation. Now I'm going to ask you an important question. Did you know that vitamin E had this proven power for hair growth? It's one of the vitamins with the best scientific evidence, but very few people know about it. Tell me in the comments if you already take it, or if this is new information for you. The best food sources of vitamin E include sunflower seeds, almonds, hazelnuts, extra virgin olive oil, avocado, and spinach. If you opt for supplementation, the dose used in the study I mentioned was 100 milligrams per day of tocotrienols, which is a specific form of vitamin E. It's important to choose a quality supplement that contains mixed tocotrienols to get the best results. Now that you know the 3 most powerful vitamins for stopping hair loss, I want to give you some crucial tips to maximize their benefits. First, the vitamins work best together. You don't have to choose just one of these 3 vitamins. In fact, they work synergistically when combined. Vitamin D activates the follicle receptors. Biotin provides the building blocks for keratin, and vitamin E protects the entire process from oxidative damage. Together, they create an optimal environment for hair growth. Second, Consistency is absolutely fundamental. You can't take these vitamins for a few days and expect miraculous results. You need to maintain optimal levels for at least 8 weeks before you start to see visible changes. The hair growth cycle is slow, and your follicles need time to respond. Third, food is the best source. I always recommend getting nutrients from food first and using supplements only when necessary. Foods provide vitamins in forms that your body recognizes and absorbs easily, along with other nutrients that help with absorption. Fourth, taking megadoses of vitamins is not always better. It will not speed up the results, and it can cause problems. Vitamin D in excess can be toxic. Biotin in very high doses can interfere with certain laboratory tests. Stick to the recommended doses and check with your doctor if you have any concerns. Fifth, check your levels. Before starting any supplementation, especially vitamin D, I recommend getting a blood test. This way, you'll know exactly where your current levels are and can adjust the dose in a personalized way. Before we wrap up, I want to mention 2 things that may be sabotaging your efforts, even if you take these vitamins. The first is refined sugar. Excess sugar causes inflammation throughout the body, increases oxidative stress, and can interfere with nutrient absorption. If you want these vitamins to work at their best, cut back on your sugar intake. The second is ultra-processed foods. These foods are full of ingredients that deplete the vitamins in your body and contribute to the very oxidative damage you are trying to combat with vitamin E. Now I want to ask you one last very important question. Which of these 3 vitamins do you think you need the most? Vitamin D, because you don't get enough sun? Biotin, because you're under constant stress? Or vitamin E, because you want that antioxidant protection? Write your answer to me in the comments. I love hearing what resonates most with my community. I also want to know what state you are watching this video from. Whether it's California, Texas, Florida, New York, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Ohio, Georgia, North Carolina, Michigan, New Jersey, or anywhere else in the United States, or from the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, or anywhere else in the English-speaking world. It makes me so happy to connect with people from so many different places who share the same goal of having healthier hair. And one more thing, what other topics related to hair loss would you like me to cover in upcoming videos? Would you like me to talk about specific minerals, foods you should avoid, scalp care routines, scalp massages? Your input is extremely valuable to me because it helps me create exactly the content you need. If this video was helpful to you, share it with a friend or family member who is also struggling with hair loss. It might be exactly the information they need to hear today. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss a single new video. I'm Dr. Haewon Kim, and I'll see you in the next video. Take good care of yourself and take care of your hair.